How's it going, everybody? JT here, coming at you with another episode of Pokemon Go, and a question I get a lot both in real life and in Twitch live streams is, which shiny Pokemon do I own have the best IVs? And to be fully honest with you guys, I had no idea how to answer that question, because besides the obvious Shundos that I have and a few handful of Shiny 8s that I'm fully aware of, there was actually quite a bit in my inventory that I wasn't too sure about, so I decided to dive in there, and sure enough, I found some pretty interesting and really cool and surprising things. So with that being said, let's dive into these shinies, but before we do that, I just want to say that these are all going to be 96% and up all the way to Shundos, because there's quite a few of them already, and quite frankly, if we did the 93s and anything lower than that, it would definitely take a lot of time. So I'm very happy to show you these. Also, you're gonna notice some of these have interesting and weird names, and that's because of my Twitch streams. I actually do shiny namings on there, and also people can redeem it if they have enough points to be named after any shiny in my collection. So you're gonna see a few people that are named in here, and also if you want to be a part of that good action, there's a link in the description box below. Check it out. It's a lot of fun. We have a lot of great times, especially during community days and big events. I make sure to live stream those most of the time. But with that being said, let's dive in with the 96. And the 96%, as you can see here, is a Pokemon that is only missing 2 stat points, period. If it has literally everything else filled out, that is a 96%. So we got Party Reno here. This is from the special celebration event they did. I think it was last year, or maybe, no, it was definitely last year, 2020. I can see it on the thing. But yeah, they had Party Hat Nidorinos and Party Hat Gengars showing up in raids, which was really neat. And though I did get Hundos of each, I didn't get Shundo, sadly, but I did get this 96, so very happy with that. And then we got ourselves a lovely Jupiter Sailfish Alolan Muck, named after my buddy Jupes. There's the IVs on it. I'm also going to show you all the IVs on these Pokemon, of course. I actually use this in Ultra League, and it gets me a few wins, to be honest with you, so I love using it. And then we've got Lapras here, which is so cool. I love this Lapras a lot because I got this during the Lapras raid day that they did, which was so fun. This is the only one I got, too, I believe, out of that entire time. But it turned out to be a 96, and with Gigantamax Lapras along the way, I'm pretty happy that this might probably be our Gigantamax Lapras, unless we get lucky in the future. You never know. I mean, Lapras has a high shiny rate. There's a decent chance that we will get a shiny one that might be better, but you never can be too sure. So, you know, for now, this is the best one we have. And then we move on to these EVs. One of these ones, actually both of these, no, this is a Calm Day one for sure, but this one I believe was actually just a full odds from a nest, which was kind of fun. And then we move on, we got ourselves Arcuno, which is awesome, we got Moltres, which is really awesome, and then we got this lucky shiny 6% Mewtwo. I really love this thing because Ivan and I did a lucky trade, and sure enough, it turned out really good for me, though sadly for him, not so well. But at the time, this was my best Mewtwo, and I had to best buddy it, and of course I named it after Ivan because he gave me my best shiny Mewtwo ever, and of course, he's my buddy. And we have other Mewtwo's, of course, here they are. I mean, some have the same exact IVs, this one's terrible, this is like a Goku bad one. I might end up just trading these, I'm gonna be honest with you, because I have Hundos and 98s that are better than this, so in the future, we're probably going to trade these. And then we got ourselves the Typhlosion here, which is really cool. This is from Cyndaquil Community Day. Absolutely love the IVs on it. And then we have Wobbuffet here. I love this because I actually hatched this as a why not, and I was like, well, this is the best one. Why not evolve it? Anyways, let's keep moving on. We got the Heracross from a raid. Still not overly happy about that situation, but a cool one to have. Very happy with it. It is my best Heracross that's shiny, so we're gonna hold on to this one for quite some time. Schneezel. There was an event sometime in the past in 2019 where these were coming off of researches at a pretty consistent rate. Like, it was a very easy quest to complete. So we definitely got quite a few Sneasels, and this was the best one I got out of all of them. Then we got Suicune. We've got ourselves an Absol that I hatched, and Mega Absol in the future is a very good, if not the best Dark type in the game currently, unless maybe Dark Void, Darkrai, but we don't have that quite yet, so this is really cool. Probably will be my first Mega Absol, and I'll definitely max this thing out because I have more than enough XLs to do so. We got a Kyogre, which probably might end up trading this in the future, not gonna lie, because you'll see later, I've got a better one, I'm sure you already know. But with that, oh, we also have Rayquaza here. I thought that was it for a second there. There we go, 96%, named after Patsy, who's an awesome person. We also got another Rayquaza here. I might end up just transferring this one, not gonna lie, because it's not the best stats. And then we got Turtwig. This is just from the wild. It's not from Calm Day. It was just a random full odds Turtwig, which was kind of fun. And Empoleon from the Community Day, and very happy we found a really good one, even though this was pretty close to a Hundo that we caught that came off of a lure, which was so close to being a Shundo, but still pretty neat. And then we got Roserade from the Community Day. This was actually a Badoo when I hatched it. We got a Gibble from Gibble Community Day. And then we got ourselves a Lucario that I did with the Lucky Trade. It's still not the best, but it's still okay. We also got ourselves, oh man, I love this. This is a Gallade from Japan. I actually did this community day in Japan, and it was probably one of my favorite community days because it was just so cool being in another country that just loves Pokemon, and this was like, I think, my first shiny Ralts that I caught. And it was funny too, because everybody ran off to get a hundo that was reported, and I completely got left in the dust because I didn't know about it. And it's also named Lisa because next to me there was a Japanese woman that was a fan of mine. Her name was Lisa, and she like was hanging out with me for the whole time, so I was like, I gotta name it after her. So Lisa, if you're watching this is still alive. Next up, we got the Shiny 6% Unpheasant, which is really cool because this was my first ever Pidove that I ever got shiny, and it came off of a research, and I was so shocked when I got it. So cool. And Unpheasant is surprisingly decent as a flying type attacker if you're trying to do like unique raids and stuff. Having something like this is not terrible, so in the future, I actually might consider maxing this thing out all the way to level 50. And then we got Shinshino here, which is pretty cool, or Cincino, or Shinshino, I forget exactly how you're supposed to pronounce this. This is from the research day, I believe. I think. I want to say, I actually kind of forget, but I think that's what it was from, because there was like a Mencino thing. Yeah, this is from February. This is before the world went into a lockdown, but it was a fun little mini event. But I think we're getting pretty close to the end here. Yeah, this has to be the last one. This is a 96% Shiny Genesect that I got from a raid, and I think this was my first ever Shiny Genesect as well. And this is from Liz, who lives in Argentina, I believe that's what she said. I'm hoping I remember. Oh, I mean, it's literally at the bottom there. I need to start reading, but yes, this is from Argentina, which is really cool. So it's a really cool, and it's, I would say, my best Shiny Mythical that I have, so pretty down with it. Next up, we're going to be diving into my Shiny 98%, or as I like to call them, Shiny 8% Pokemon. But before I do that, if you're enjoying this video, and I really hope you are, please smash the like button for me and subscribe to the channel and hit that little bell icon. Really helps out the channel, and I'm trying to get up to 100,000 subscribers, so if you can help me out, please do. But with that being said, let's dive into our Shiny 8s right here. Starting off with one of my favorites, a Shiny 8% Shiny Charizard from the second Charmander Community Day. Unfortunately, not quite a Shundo, so far off, but this is an incredibly useful Pokemon. Really, like, it Mega Evolves into Charizard Y, which has one of the best DPSs in this entire game, and it has a Gigantamax down the future, and there's also Mega Charizard X as well. So this thing has a lot of uses, so I'm definitely looking forward to maxing this all the way up to 50 in the future. And next up, we've got the Shiny 8% Radicate. This one shocked me. I actually completely forgot that this existed. I knew that I had this, but I didn't know it was a 98%, so it's cool, but I'm not gonna lie, I was just like, wow, really? So close to being a Shundo? And like, if I ever have the ability to boost this in the future, this would definitely become a Shundo. And then next up, we actually have a Shiny 8% Alolan Sandslash, which is pretty cool. I actually got this in a trade with Echo Games, who's another YouTuber that you should check out. And again, thank you very much for the trade. It was pretty cool that it landed like this, because this wasn't even a lucky trade, as you can clearly tell. Like, it was just a full odds trade, and it turned out really good for me, so I'm happy on that one. We got a Wigglytuff, which I assume I hatched as an Igglybuff. It's cool. Very down with it. I might end up maxing this in the future just because. We got an Arcanine. This is from GoFest. Like, literally, we just ran into it. Super awesome. We got ourselves this. Oh my god, this is one of my favorite shinies that I have, period, because I actually hatched this, and I want to say, put it on record, even though I'm not sure if I'm correct on this, but I think I was the first person in the world to hatch a shiny Kangaskhan from an egg, because during that Ultra Unlock event, I hatched it within 45 minutes of the event going live from my second ever egg, and it was my first regional as well. So this has a special place in my heart. Even though it's a Goku bad, I don't care. I have to max this out in the future, and I have to, like, you know, just make it as best as possible, because I love it. You know what I mean? Like, this is a personal trophy of mine, so I'm so happy that I have this. And then after that, we got Mewtwo's. I think I have two of these, actually. Yep, there's the lucky one that I got somewhat recently. It's cool. I'm down with them, and we're definitely going to hold on to these ones, but man, so close to being a Shundo, you know what I mean? Like, as soon as you see the 82, you're like, couldn't have been just 5 more, right? It hurts, but I'm still happy to have these. And then we got Meganium from Colorado. I loved this. I actually went there for the community day. Got very lucky. I just found it in the park with other, like, you know, trainers. It was so much fun. We also got this Sunflora here, which is pretty fun because this was actually just a full odds trade with my buddy Jacob, and sure enough, it turned out to be a lucky one. And this was at the time like my best shiny Pokemon, which was really funny. And it was a Sunkern. I actually made sure to evolve this into a Sunflora, but I was happy, and I was like, whatever, you know, if it's got good IVs, it has good IVs, you know what I mean? And then we have my Shiny 8 best buddy Charpedo. I'm sure you guys who watch the channel for a while now know Sharpedo's my favorite Pokemon. At least one of them. It's definitely up there. I love sharks. And when I got this in a lucky trade, I was like, man, so close, so freaking close to being a Shundo, because I would love a Shundo one of these, obviously, but I had to max it to level 50. In fact, I did that in the last video you guys probably watched. And yeah, I just can't wait for the Mega. I can't wait to use this hopefully in the future, and at level 50, it could be used in Ultra League, even though I'm sure it would get destroyed, so I'm not going to even try it. But I'm so happy I have this. And then we got my Latios, which is funny because Latios gave me the hardest time trying to get that shiny, so when we finally got one and it was a 98, I was super happy about it. We got this shiny 8% Groudon that I actually traded with Mystic 7 when I ran into him in the middle of Vegas. It was spontaneous, I didn't even know he was going to be there. And it turned out good for me. Unfortunately for him, he got the floor on an Articuno, but I got a Shiny 8, so I'm not going to complain. And then we got a Shiny 8 Rayquaza as well. We got a Regigigas, which was my first Shiny Regigigas, and currently the highest CP Pokemon that I have in this game. And then we got this Berserker, which I'm so happy about. This is amazing. I got this off a raid on a live stream. Such a cool time. I definitely want to max this out in the future for sure. And with the Shiny Berserker, this is basically the end of my Shiny 98% Pokemon, as you can see. But yeah, I mostly am happy that I have a lot of these and I'm maxing these out because I really do feel that bottle caps are going to be coming to Pokemon Go hopefully sometime in the future, because basically what a bottle cap is in the main series games, it was an item that would actually boost IV stats of your Pokemon. Silver bottle cap, which would boost an entire bar all the way to max, which is really awesome. And then there was the golden bottle cap, which would max everything out. So I really feel like they could add the bottle cap into Pokemon Go as an extremely rare drop to help boost, you know, the IVs of your Pokemon. I think it would be a good investment, like, personally. Like, definitely make it really hard so that's not like everybody's just having a ton of Shundos all of a sudden, but make it something to grind for. I really feel would make this game a lot better for some people, because a lot of people get kind of annoyed when they get so close to the Shundo and they don't get it. If you actually had the bottle cap, you could easily just throw that in there, and then you'd have the Shundo that you really wanted. And lastly, we have the Shundos. My shiny 100% Pokemon. There's only 6 of them, but I love every single one of them, starting off with this Shundo Umbreon that I have made best buddies. I have maxed out all the way to 50. This thing apparently is a monster in Ultra League PvP, so I'm very much looking forward to using him, and plus, I love Umbreon. It's one of my favorite evolutions. It was a hard choice between this or Sylveon, personally, because Sylveon actually has play as well, and is a phenomenal shiny. Absolutely love shiny Sylveon, so it was a hard choice, and I actually left this up for a Twitter poll. I actually put it up as a poll there, and everybody voted for this one mostly, but Sylveon was a close second, and then the third option was to keep it as an Eevee for the Gigantamax in the future, so definitely happy I have this, though. I absolutely love it. And then the next one is Ashanto Alteria, which is okay. Apparently it's decently useful for Ultra League at this, but it's not the best. It's more just a trophy, but of course I had to best buddy it and max it out. And it does Mega Evolve, so if I ever need Dragon or Fairy Candy, I could Mega Evolve this, because that's currently in the game, so pretty down with it. But after this one, I believe, is one of my favorites, and that's my Schlundo Kyogre, which I have been putting a lot of work into lately. As you can see, he's already best buddied. I mean, like, this is such a beautiful thing to even see, you know what I mean? It looks so good. It's one of my favorite legendaries, so when I got this, I was so happy. I got this from a lucky trade with my buddy Goofy. Thank you again, Goofy. That was really awesome. I kind of regret not having the camera out, but to be honest with you, I was in a place that was just so loud with copyright stuff going on and conversations. I was just like, I'm just gonna do the trade and let's see how it happens. And sure enough, this happened, so yeah, it's pretty cool. As for powering it up to 50, I'm trying to do it, but I need 97 more XLs in order to do it, and I'm currently at 52. So it's a bit more grinding. I'm basically throwing all my rare candies into this and just slowly building it up. But we've been doing pretty good. Like, I mean, by the little, like, bit ago, I'd say about a couple weeks ago, I was, like, at maybe 20-something XLs, so we're going hard on it, but it's gonna take a little bit longer until we can finally max this. Hopefully it'll just come back to raids so I can do it easier that way. And then we have my Shundo Garchomps. I have 2 of these. I've got this one, and I've got this one. I like this one a lot. I think it's great. I mean, we found it was super cool, but this one was an incensed Shundo. This is an incensed Shundo from literally the very beginning of Community Day. It was my first shiny off the incense and period of the event. This was my first shiny, and it turned out to be a Shundo Campbell. I still couldn't believe it. I really couldn't. You should definitely check out that video if you haven't yet. Also, there's a short that I made of it if you don't want to watch the whole video. honestly one of the happiest moments of the game because I've never had that before. I've never incensed a Shundo in my life until this. And this is freaking awesome. I love it. And then lastly, we've got Porygon Z, my first ever Shundo that I got in December of last year for the community day. And I'm so happy. Like, honestly, it's a cool Pokemon, and apparently it has some decent uses in Master League. I've been watching some videos on it. It's very surprising how good it is, but yeah, I gave it Lock On. I made sure it had Tri-Attack because that was the Community Day move, and it's also like one of the best moves it has. And currently it has Blizzard just because it can, but yeah, this was my first ever Shundo that I maxed to level 50 as well. I best buddied it. Like, it was my only one for the longest time, but honestly, like, to have as a first one, I'm actually very happy. Like, it's such a good shiny. And those are my best IV'd shiny Pokemon, and yeah, like I said, some cool stuff in there, especially some surprising things. Again, I didn't think there was gonna be a 98% rat, which is still hilarious to me that that's actually alive in there, but I mean, with bottle caps, I'll make that a Shundo. I absolutely will. And I also know that I mentioned that I might trade some of those shiny 96s. Now that I think about it, once I went through all of those 98s, I'll just go through the 96s after that, so I definitely won't be trading those, but yeah. Pretty cool stuff, and yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. And if you did, again, please don't forget to smash that like button for me and show me some love. Subscribe to the channel, hit the little bell icon so you know when I upload, and comment down below. What are your best IV shinies? What Shundos do you have? What Shiny 8s or Shiny 6s do you have? Please let me know in those comments down below. And if you really enjoy the content and you want to help the channel grow even more, there's going to be a link to my Patreon in the description box below. But with that being said, this is going to be the end of the video. I'll see you in the next one.